Hello and welcome to my deck. This is Antiqua Lisha with Your Own University, and this is day 28 recording my own university. And today was interesting. So this morning what really came up was how we relate to power. And power is really big for me because I talk about the 6 personal power zones and how we're empowered. And I got a new take on that, a new take on how we use power. And especially when we are first learning about how to manage our own worlds, how to control our own environments, we're usually around the age of 11, 12, 13 years old. And because it came up with 3 clients and myself today, I'm just feeling like this might be something that we should talk about a little bit as I reflect through my day. So, how did you first act out or act into power? What gave you your first glimpse of having power in your life? Meaning having control over something or someone, being able to have power over something. And that's really it for me. For me, my first glimpse of power and taking my power back was really when I almost died from it. But it gave me my power back. It put me in safety. And then I used that, or what happened to me, to maintain my power. And over the years, it turned into kind of a crutch. But since it was my power, I'm totally outing myself right now. I'm outing it too. It's kind of scary. Whew. But my story was the first things that I wrote about. My story was the first things that I stood up and said, okay, it's not all right to walk through abuse. Let's have freedom. Let's have take back your power, right? It was all about this kind of fighting against the victimization by using the fact that I was victimized to my advantage. And what that's done for me is left me in a cycle of kind of needing that in order to feel powerful. And so a breakthrough today was that that's really old news. I have a lot of knowledge. I take a lot of responsibility in my life and for my life, and I also have a lot of other places that I have control in my life where I no longer need to play the victim in order to play like the hero or the overcomer or the survivor, to feel that sense of power. And it didn't come up that way for my clients today. It showed up in different ways. It was really funny. It was all around the age 11 and 12. So when you're looking at your life and you're thinking about taking your power back in any one of your 6 personal power zones, there's probably a common theme. There's probably a decision or some stance that you took where you took that power for yourself around 11 and 12 years old. This is also something from the Landmark Forum training that I did years ago. That this is one of those points in life. So we have one when our theta brain changes around age 2. We have one around age 7. The next one is around 12, and then 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there. So this is a major point in your life too. And I think it might be the power point. It really might be the place where you step into your own and you take your power back in one way. So how did you do that? Was it a healthy way where you formed a healthy relationship with power? Or did you have to do something in order to have power? And sorry, there's this bug like flying around. So for me, the thing that happened was I stood up and I took my power back from abuse. But what I had to do in order to keep myself safe then was continuously defend myself, which left me defensive for many years. That was kind of a breakthrough earlier, 2 years ago. Oh, it was a shift. It also left me looking for where I needed people to care for me, where I needed help, and trying to prove to them that I needed help, and creating situations where I needed help, because other than that, I was pretty much all alone and on my own. And that was something that scared me. So I figured out how to be helped, which meant taking myself down when I was 13 and getting the state, getting the people to listen to me. And littler things I've done. These patterns kind of continue and they play out. So maybe you've done this in your own life. Another thing might be rebelling and running away from circumstances. Ooh, it's going to start to rain. Another thing that was brought up today was somebody started to dress out and dress up and do things, and she got a little bit into boys, right? And that became a distraction. It became a sense of power because she utilize that. And a love relationship has been something that she really, really desires in her life. So I'm gonna walk over here out of the rain. So she noticed this, like how she learned through and to have her power was by forming relationships with guys. About age 13, she had her first boyfriend. And kind of using that, and that's how she's worked up in life. That's how she's done things, and she wants to do things differently. She wants to have a deep, meaningful, level playing field relationship without using that anymore. But how can she be powerful without that? And so we're walking through that today. One of my male clients had a thing about being rebellious and just kind of screw it all and being free and happy and just worrying about himself and not worrying about school and things, that has kept him blocked from really accomplishing a lot of the level of success that he desires and requires to accomplish now. It's kept him in procrastination. It worked great for him to survive his family life and fun when he was younger, but not now. And the third piece that came up today was just watching anger work in my own family, and how there is this call for power, this pull for power right now at the age 11, 12. It was dramatic and it was big and it had nothing to do with me, but it's just this age, and it's a really, really powerful age to come into, because you're finally taking a stance for yourself and you're saying, okay, how am I going to be powerful in this world? And this is our first glimpse of power. It's not true power. So we'll go into true power later. I'll do some webinars. I'll do some things on it. I'm putting together a whole bunch of workshops around this sense of power and true power with my friend Chris Parker. So we'll get into that. So be on the lookout if this stands out to you. But ask yourself to step into your true power, what your first relationship with power was, how you got that upper hand of power, which isn't true power. That's the false power, is the upper hand power, and how you can step into true power, which is really being responsible for something, being confident in something, having peace of mind around something, feeling in control of the situation, and being able to manage the situation, meaning that if somebody or something tries to control it away from you, you know better for yourself, right? Anyway, this is a really long one. It's almost already 10 minutes. But it's really, really important. The true power, again, is feeling in control, knowing that you're responsible for something, understanding yourself, and then really standing for that and not worrying about everything else and other people. that's that sense that I want to give you in all 6 of your personal power zones, or I want to help walk you to. I can't give it to you, but walk you to in all 6 of your personal power zones. The false sense of power, the stuff that we get stuck at and that trips us up, is what we decide around the age of 11, 12. And it is our first glimpse of having the upper hand. It might have been in relationship, it might have been in your own life, I don't know. But it would be a good place to start to get into that deep root of where you're at. And that is the glimpse into my own university today. If you have some insights into that, some ideas, go ahead and list them below. Say hi. This is really big. I'm probably going to write a blog about this one. And so make sure to make a comment. Feel free to share this with anybody and everybody that you want to. And visit me at antiqualisha.com for more goodies, more tips, and more insight into your own university and your 6 personal power zones. Bye.